Hello and welcome back to Command Point. My name's Ryan and I'm here once again with Shane.
Hello.
And Shane, this morning, if anybody listened to the podcast, you know that we had already sort of locked in our predictions for what factions we think are going to take it all. And I picked a pretty dark horse. I had picked Death Watch, and you had picked Tau, but after a game against Thousand Suns that you had last Tuesday night, you think now that Thousand Suns are have a pretty good shot at taking this thing now.
Yeah. So a little pretext. I was taking the very safe, kind of unexciting option with Tau, like you said, and Thousand Suns is a faction that I kind of sleep on personally. I don't really think about them often. They aren't really very present in our local meta, so they're not in my headspace too much when I'm thinking about all of this. But I heard some talk about they're a psychic army and they have those capabilities, kind of like Grey Knights. And I was thinking about it, and I did play a game where I learned a couple things, and I think my thought changed a little bit. I do want to go ahead and informally make this my prediction. I'm going to call Thousand Suns instead of Tau.
All right,
So
so pretty
also context,
yeah.
for those of you listening, it was the night before LVO. So LVO has not happened while we're recording this. By the time this gets out there, it will likely have started, maybe, or at least by the time you're hearing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this
So
out by midnight tonight, so we'll see.
that would be wonderful. So yeah, I'm very high on Thousand Suns right now, and we can talk about it. Um, One other thing, we are for the first time recording not in the physical presence of one another, so our audio is not going to be quite as pristine for this episode.
Yeah.
You've already noticed at this point, but yeah.
Yeah, we thought that this was a big enough deal that we couldn't wait for and set up another time right before LVO to sit down and record
Yeah,
this.
impromptu episode.
Yeah. So, I guess it all starts with the Scarab Occult Terminators, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing for me because people weren't really taking them because they're a Terminator and they're expensive. But with LVO, it's 125 points.
Right.
It's kill one, kill more,
Right.
and the Scarab Occult Sorcerer specifically is the only other model that you can take on a Thousand Suns list that has Cybolt, because you're only capped at one sorcerer, one aspiring sorcerer.
Yep.
So taking the Terminator and sinking, I think it's about 38
Yeah,
points.
it's
So
exactly
it's
38
not
points.
cheap.
No, it's not cheap, but you go ahead and tell them what it does, what that allows the
Yeah,
Thousand Suns to do.
yeah. So it's a Terminator, quite in the same vein as a an Astartes Terminator or anything really like a Grey Knight Terminator, but it has Cybolt obviously, and it comes with, I believe, that same glaive that the aspiring sorcerer comes with. So on top of having Cybolt, it has this glaive, which I believe is
The Force Stave, I think, is what you're talking about.
the Force Stave. That's the name of it. I believe it's +2 strength, AP
Yep.
-1 maybe,
Yep.
and
AP -1 and then D3 damage.
D3 damage. Yes, and the sorcerer, the Scarab Occult Sorcerer, has a 3-up weapon skill, so you're hitting on threes. You're going to be wounding on threes with the AP -1, and then if it gets through, that's 3 damage.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the lists you're going to take are going to depend on matchups and the roster and everything. But I'd say the closest to a come-all list would be something, and this is just kind of like the shell that you would build around, would be probably that, I forget what it's called, the Zangor-style leader, with just so you have like a cheap leader to sit in the back, all that. And then you
Yep.
take that aspiring sorcerer as probably like a veteran specialist. You take the Scarab Occult Sorcerer as a combat specialist, and you take one of those rubric gunners with the auto Reaper cannon, or the Soul Reaper cannon, sorry,
Yeah.
and you make him a demo or whatever fits best for the situation. And then really around that, you kind of Zangor spam.
Yeah.
And so you have like sort of the flexibility of a psychic phase. And
Yeah, because with the Scarab Occult Terminator and the Aspiring Sorcerer, that's two Cybolts that you're able to put out. Now, normally the only faction that's able to do that is Grey Knights. And now with the Grey Knight Cybolt, their Cybolt only has a range of 12 inches, right?
yes,
And with Thousand Suns, they don't take a range penalty to it. So they have two Cybolts at the full 18-inch range.
yes,
So they're like, if you take that Scarab Occult Sorcerer with the Aspiring Champion, you're gonna own the Psychic phase.
absolutely, yeah. I'd say the only downside, that the thing that Grey Knights has over them is the entire Grey Knights army is going to be all Psychers. With Thousand Suns, you have these two Psychers that are the only ones on their list, and they can be taken off the board, and you can move that. But still, the rest of the list is not really much of a slouch, and they're pretty resilient too. They all have invuln saves. The Zangors, the 7-point Zangors, are pretty tough models. Also, they're Strength 4, Toughness 4. They have about 2 attacks base with AP -1, and on top of that, they have the invuln.
Yep, they've all got that 5-up invuln. They're a lot more survivable than a Grey Knight.
Yes, and unlike Grey Knights, they do have like a small unit in the Zangors, whereas Grey Knights
Yeah.
are kind of locked into taking their 6 guys in 125 points. You can take at least 10 in a Thousand Suns list in this format.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the 2 main guys that you're going to want to roll with are those Psychers. And then, the Gunner, I would say that probably depends on the matchup. I think that Rubric Gunner with the Soul Reaper Cannon is a very powerful unit with all his dust that can kind of move around the map and as a heavy and not face that penalty.
Yeah.
But that's a strong weapon. I believe it's 4 shots, strength.
It's heavy 4, strength 5, AP -3 for 1 damage.
Yeah, that's it. So that's incredible. That's just a better version of an Auto Reaper Cannon, except it's 1 damage instead.
Yeah.
But still, that's a fantastic weapon. But I think taking the Gunner, it could depend on the matchup whether or not you're even going to do that. You might just want numbers and to roll more Zangors out.
True.
And
Basically what it comes down to is the strength of this list is that you've got like Thousand Suns are really positioned to dominate the kill more and hold more secondary or primaries, excuse me, because the Zangors are so cheap, you can really secure board control with them and still manage to afford a unit that's as expensive as the Scarab Occult Sorcerer. So you're going to be getting those 2 Cybolts every psychic phase, and then you're going to be able to contest objectives with all your Zangors, and then you just have the Gunner for the heavy support. It's both really killy and also really board control-y. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about them until, well, basically today. But like with this format, with the kill more, hold more format, I think they really can fit into that niche there and potentially dominate.
Yeah, and I don't know who, I cannot source this, but if I'm not mistaken, I think there is going to be at least 1 or 2 decently ranked ITC players taking Thousand Suns to this tournament who aren't like Thousand Suns players. Yeah, I do recall that I saw something along those lines in the past week, and that would be huge. I think you'd absolutely see a pretty big performance from a Thousand Suns player, provided you get like a competitive, experienced player on the faction. I think with their strength
Yeah.
and with their packet, yeah, absolutely. And Thousand Sons is kind of a faction, especially after Elites came out. People stopped paying attention to them because nobody wanted to shell out 38 points to get that second Cybele. Sounds right. I would,
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, at this point, I think I have like my 4 favorite factions for the packet.
Yeah.
If I can narrow it down into like a top 4 for me. 4 is toughest. 4 is definitely the toughest. 4 is like I'm torn between like Grey Knights and Deathwatch.
Yeah.
I'm really into those 2 factions. 3 would be, and this is a little bit less tough in my eyes. I think Necrons would be 3. I think they're really good in this packet.
Uh-huh.
And then 2 would be Tau for me, and then obviously now Thousand Sons is reigning up top for my favorites for the packet. They have potential to really dominate a lot of matchups.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess we'll just have to like sort of wait and find out. I mean, it starts tomorrow, so
Yeah, I mean there will be the live stream. I'll be trying to tune in as much as I can. I believe it starts pretty early on.
yeah, like 9 a.m. or something tomorrow for the pods, for the morning pods, and then the actual championship is Saturday, all day Saturday, and then into Sunday morning, I think,
Yeah,
or all day Sunday. That's pretty solid.
yeah. But I do hope that there's people playing Deathwatch because I want to find out about all that. You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of underutilized factions that I would like to see played at this tournament just to see where they sit, basically. And that's what makes this tournament so exciting, is that it's kind of like a whole new world for Kill Team, just with the new format and seeing what fits where and everything. Yeah, crazy stuff. I'm hyped for it. Well, I guess that's it for this one.
Yeah, for this mini episode.
Yeah. We will catch you all next time.